Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from passionate Reds, only on All for United. Welcome back to All for United. Always fun, isn't that? Always. Him. I want to be on the show. Please pick me. I was on Stretford Paddock this week. Please pick me to come on as well. I can't even make it here on time. Well, that was AFU's last word. This is where a bunch of United fans get together, have a bit of a laugh, and chat about some big topics from the weekend that has gone by. And I think the whole mantra of this show is to keep quite upbeat, to keep it quite positive. So that's why today we're going with 5 reasons why the win against Spurs will change our season. Change our season. Change our season, Callum.
He's doing his hair. That's what he's doing.
Anyway, quickly, elephant in the room. Where's the moustache gone, Jamie?
Oh, I just got rid of it. I shaved it before November, grew it out for November, raised what 560.
It's March, mate. You can't keep boasting about that.
Yeah, and then of course I can. Thanks, mate. And then I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll go back to not having it.
So the real story is
it's trying to come back, isn't it?
Women realised that it was no longer the 1950s, and he didn't get laid once with it, so he got rid of it.
Hey, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There's a proper market for a little, porn star tash. So
well said.
Oh, there we go, mate. Well, congratulations.
Can you hear me?
Always liked you, Stu.
No,
hello. Can't see you, mate.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Turn my mic up. Right. Is it working?
Did you do this over at Stretford Paddock? Because if you did, you're never fucking going on there again.
He's embarrassing, isn't he?
No, the more professional there. Oh my God, everything just malfunctioned. The camera turned off. My microphone fell out of its socket and then turned off and stopped working. Like everything went wrong then.
So that again, Carl. You're breaking up.
Look, I'm sweating.
Callum.
Stop pulling your hair out, mate.
Carfick's meant to be the one with crap internet. What's going on here?
What's going on?
Callum.
Oh my God, now the internet ain't working.
Right, anyway, talking about shit internet. Hey, Carfick.
Can you hear me?
Welcome back, brother.
I'm back with good internet, bitches.
Hey, Carfick, welcome back.
Thank you, mate.
Good to have you.
Is it working?
The reason it took me so long to come back was because I was watching back the last episode of Uncut, and Jamie in that video said, I can't wait till he starts saying he misses us and he's back in February. So I had to wait till March. That's genuinely the reason. That's genuinely the reason.
Guys, just quickly, can I just ask everyone who's watching, just quickly share this link, smash a like on the video. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, can you please come over to the YouTube channel, just search All for United, get in a live chat, we'll feature you all. Brown Knight, welcome back, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen one of these live. Look at Jamie, all grown up, seems to have grown a foot taller in it. No, that's just the high heels, which you can't see.
Yeah, where this thing of me being young come from, I really don't know. I'm older than half the people in the chat. I'm fucking 30 in like a year.
Not older than Ben, though.
Yeah, 27, mate. He's well older than me. Stop it. Fred Woodward said the boys are back. Hello. Bainesy's just laughing already. Denzel says, oi, chaps. John Commode, evening or welcome to the new show. John, always good to have you in the live chat as well. So 5 reasons why we should be, why we think the Spurs game will change our season. Some of the things we're going to hit on is Ronaldo's confidence, proving the haters wrong. Belief, a win like that could bring the team together and unite them to fight during the last stretch of the season. The top 4 race is still on. Still on, guys. Still on. Carpet, what are we going to do this season and next?
Finish 6th and not qualify for the Champions League.
Oh, that was Sancho's turning it on and momentum. What's happened to Carpet?
Get him off. Get him off.
It's got domesticated, probably. That's why.
Yeah.
Is it me or is Carfick's hair halfway there to Jedward? Anyone else? No? It is, isn't it, a bit?
Look, I can't
it looks like a razor red, or whatever. Was it a razor red or a razor boy?
Whatever. Razor boy. What's a razor boy?
I've been called Lego head.
Lego.
Yeah, to be fair, like a Fisher Price man.
It doesn't move. No,
it doesn't.
It's a solid one piece. That.
Talking about Lego, by the way, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Benny. The reason why Benny's on this show tonight because we hardly get Benny anymore. So the reason why he's on his show this tonight is because his boy actually sent him away because he was so useless at putting together the Lego version of Old Trafford together. So thank God for that.
To be fair, Zane did text me complaining. I said, "Don't worry about it, Zane. I'll show you what to do." So I said, "Me and him were WhatsApping me and Zane, telling him what to do." Go and send your
Yeah.
dad for
Where?
a Coke. Go on, get him
Go-
out.
go
I'd
what?
be worried if Stu was messaging my child telling him to go send his dad to get
Hey,
Coke.
Zane
Yeah.
likes me. We got on well, me and Zane, don't we, Benny?
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, I can't deny that.
Yeah, he likes
I'm
me.
more excited to meet Zane than Benny. Anyway, that happened before.
Right, hang
Callum, are
on.
you there yet?
Can you hear me?
Carl,
Callum?
Yes.
Carl, Carl.
No, you're all taking a piss.
Yeah, they are. We can hear
We
you.
are. We can take the piss for 5 minutes.
You're all-
Right,
you're all
for anyone
piss.
who's just tuned in, we're doing a colour palette test. Go back to the start of the video when Callum first showed his
Excuse
face. Now
me?
look at how much more red he is through the
Whoa,
stress
hang
he's gone
on.
through in the last 3 minutes.
Whoa. What's that about a colour palette test? Whoa, what? Why have I been invited to this again?
His head was so
Whoa.
much more red now than it was about 15 minutes ago.
Okay,
All right?
right. I was
Saying, can you hear me? And no one's replying to me.
Well, that's because we've been
How are you,
winding you
Callum?
up.
Well, I'm stressed out now, clearly.
I like the drawing you've got. Did you do that?
No, I didn't. And I just tried to wipe it off and it wouldn't fucking wipe off.
What
He got
is it?
upset for Paddock, didn't he?
I
for his
don't know what it
appearance
is.
the other
I
day?
didn't do it.
Do you know what's really funny about this, Callum? That's what the point and tactical boards look like once Carthage done with them before a match.
Hey, all I'm saying is the last time we played a game, which was about 4 weeks ago, we won. So
Well, you think I beat
Oh, here we
9-0
go.
again?
no,
Callum, it's not that type of
look at
show.
that crack.
2 wins on the bounce, Stu.
Really?
Yeah,
He's not a roll.
can't fix up the wheel.
James is on. You look
Oh,
nice today,
thanks,
Jamie.
James.
Go to bed,
Um,
James.
I love James.
Manchester United UEFA Conference League champions of the world. Anyway, right, if you've just watched this and you've not been watching live, we're going to do this every Sunday night at 10 o'clock. So join us if you can. That's GMT time. If not, definitely watch or listen to it back. Subscribe to All for United. If you want to get in the comments as well for anything we're saying, feel free to. Very positive show today. So 5 reasons why the Spurs win could change our season or is going to change our season. Let's be really positive about this because it was a good win yesterday. And I want to start with Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I love chatting to Benny because it can give us a sense of what also happened for those who weren't at the stadium yesterday. And for me, Benny, the atmosphere, especially after the second goal, the third goal, the chance of Viva Ronaldo, it felt like there was some momentum in the stadium yesterday.
There was, to be fair, mate. I just think it was a lift that the fans needed as well because even the previous couple of away games where the atmosphere is usually bouncing, it's been a bit dull, been a bit lull, not its usual energetic self. And I just think yesterday we just needed that spark and that magic from somebody just to just put the passion and the belief back into the fans. And it happened to be one of the greatest players of all time. Proving all the people that doubted him wrong by scoring a hat trick and just absolutely telling the haters that listen, I'm Ronaldo, I can still do it. There's a hat trick there, boom, And I saw a stat earlier on. I don't know if it's true or not, but out of his 807 goals, 407 of them have either been an equaliser or a winning goal. So that just goes to show you how much of a big-time player that Cristiano is. But in terms of the atmosphere, as soon as he got the first one, the Viva Ronaldo sort of got going. And the second one, it got louder. Obviously, it was got a hat-trick. It all went delirious. But that sort of passion from the fans and that sort of ignition from Ronaldo, if you like, of giving us that sort of belief back again, and really giving us hope. Hope's another word, I think, especially when all us looks a little bit lost. People, you see it on our WhatsApp group, people losing their minds about Arsenal and worrying about Arsenal and all this. Let's not worry about Arsenal. Let's just concentrate on ourselves, because at the end of the day, listen, we've got players like Cristiano in the side. Anything can happen. Top 4 is not over yet. And people are panicking like their lives depend on it. Top 4 is not over yet. Arsenal have got to go out, still got to go out there and win their games and then win all their remaining games as well. It's not an easy task. The pressure's on Arsenal. The pressure's on Tottenham. They've got a couple of games in hand, I think, still as well. The pressure is all on these teams to go out there and win. It's in the Premier League. Nothing's a given. Nothing's a given in the Premier League. Anybody could beat anybody on their day, So, but in terms of the atmosphere, though, mate, it was probably the best, I think, since Leeds United away, in my opinion.
Amazing. Yeah, and it was a big day at Ellen Road as well. Stu, let me come over to you. We've had many a debate on this channel about Cristiano Ronaldo since his return. Was that his best performance of the lot so far?
Well, since he's returned back, then yes, you'd have to say so. But actually, what helped him yesterday was the balance. And I know Rashford's having his issues at the moment, but the way that, and I know we're going to cover it later on, Ben, so I'll just skirt over it now. But the way that Sancho is supporting him and Rashford did his best yesterday is helping him. What really helped the situation was Matic. Matic was able to screen better, which gives them Fred that license to play 8. And I'm going to say it, and I'm probably going to get absolutely lambasted, but I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. You can't play Pogba and Fernandes in the same side. You need either one or the other. And I thought Pogba yesterday, lazy off the ball, don't get me wrong. I thought he was dispossessed a little bit easier. But when he was on it, I thought he was excellent. I thought his vision, his strength, could have got a goal if he hadn't panicked. I've never seen Paul Pogba panic on the edge of the box like he did in the first half where he just curled it around the post. I was really, really surprised. But to be perfectly honest with you, I just thought it was an all-round good performance. But again, I'll have to say one thing. My lad was in the stadium, so let me just echo what Benny says. I mean, he was absolutely buzzing. And, it's the first time he's come back from Old Trafford this season, buzzing. He phoned me on the way back. Did you watch the game, Dad? Have you been able to see it? What do you think of Ronaldo's goals? He said, what was your pick of the goal? Pick of the bunch. And for me, it was a header. Great strike, don't get me wrong. Nice poacher's goal, but I thought the header was absolutely perfect. The eyes, the concentration, the way that he just rose and met it was brilliant. So all in all, totally agree with Benny. I just think that yesterday, I think Ronaldo kind of showed everybody, maybe reminded everybody what he could do. But let me go back to a footballing viewpoint. I expect that week in, week out. If I'm in that side, I'm expecting Ronaldo to score every game. And, you go, you shake his hand, and then you come back. So all in all, great game. Brilliant to watch. Great to see Ronaldo get his hat-trick. So really, really pleased.
Yeah, Callum, did Ronaldo really need that, mate? I mean, he's had a few haters out there. A lot of people saying that he doesn't work in a Rangnick system. A few games ago, people were calling him to be dropped before he disappeared to Portugal. But did he need that? Did he need to prove a point?
Not gonna lie, mate. I just got distracted, so I have no idea what Stu just said. But
no, I didn't say anything about what Stu said. I asked a completely different question. So it's
that's fine. I'm not gonna lie, mate. I have no idea what you just asked me. What did you say?
Brilliant. Let's move on to Jamie. Jamie, so
sorry, I got really distracted by something. Yeah, Ronaldo was great.
No, don't worry, you're only live on a show. It's absolutely fine. You're only communicating with 6 people in here. But you do you, mate. If you're watching Peaky Blinders in the background or masturbating over porn, you do that.
My girlfriend just said that I'm fidgeting and causing mayhem on the. She's watching in the other room, and she's basically saying it's a nightmare. So I'm trying to improve for you, actually.
Thank you. Well, shout out to your missus, who is by far a better producer of this channel than I am, and maybe we should get her on board.
True.
Gal, did she give you a bollocking the other night?
Yeah, she did a bit, to be fair.
So did I, mate.
Sorry.
Jesus. Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh, I'm sorry that we're such a hindrance to you. Next time just don't come on.
Well,
This channel would fall and fail without me and Stu.
Yes.
So
without Stu, maybe.
Oh, cheers, Jamie.
Wow.
I think
no need for that.
I think the only thing that would be impacted by you leaving anything would be Alperson's sales would drop, wouldn't it? So,
well, no, because I'm bald. So how would
if
that
your
work?
missus did laugh over that, you need to ask a serious question there, Callum. Anyway, let's go back to my question.
Ronaldo
did Ronaldo need to prove a point yesterday? Did that hat-trick prove a point to the haters?
No, I don't think it proved anything, really. Oh, he didn't need to. Ronaldo didn't need to prove anything to anybody, really, does he? But
he was getting a bit of hate, though, wasn't he? From fans about the way he played in Rangnick's system. He hasn't been prolific since Rangnick came in. He's our number 9. People asked him to be dropped. So did he need those goals? Did he need to prove that point?
Yeah, well, it's not mutually exclusive. You can call out Ronaldo for being bad over the past few weeks, but also say he played brilliantly yesterday. He wasn't great the past 10 weeks or whatever, but he was brilliant yesterday. you can have those two opinions. You don't have to have one or the other. He was amazing yesterday, and it was brilliant that he went and broke the record. And he's 4 now away from 100 Premier League goals. That's Serie A, International, Premier League, and La Liga. He'll have over 100 goals. That's amazing. Like, hey, I have been on paddock before, so you know.
You're going to mute him, Ben, or what?
Yeah,
I love paddock. I love the guys over there.
So do
And
I,
they
yeah,
like us.
exactly.
So
do I.
it's cool.
So,
It's fine.
thank you. No, but it was. I don't actually particularly think we played very well yesterday. I thought Tottenham just weren't great. I think if you play anyone else there yesterday, I think they would have scored. But because for some reason it just didn't seem to work for them yesterday. Whether it's at a bit of a kick on, because usually over the past few weeks when we've not played well, we've not won. So I'm hoping we don't play well and we manage to grind out the result. I'm hoping it kind of is a bit of a springboard over the next few weeks, because God knows we need it, because we've been so bad. So we'll see what happens. But no, I don't think Ronaldo needed to do that yesterday to prove any kind of point. You know, he has been bad the last few weeks, and it's good that he's got back in the goals. Now we need to see him get back into form over a prolonged period of time before we start silencing any critics.
I didn't even know that was still showing on the screen. I don't know why that is still showing, but I 100% agree with you there, Callum. Sorry. It's great. It's fair all the time.
Have you not seen Brian Knight's comment?
Oh, well, yeah, because it was full-time Devils before, wasn't it? Anyway, love to Jay and the guys and Stephen and everyone.
Yeah,
over
so
there.
was I when it was full-time Devils. It's not.
See, Cal, so was I
was on
but I
before
don't
you
bang
were.
on about it.
Actually,
I don't
so
bang
was
on about
Jamie.
it.
No
So was
comment.
Carpick.
Excuse
I've
me.
been on it.
Oh, we only did the fan cams. I presented the
Yeah.
fan cams.
We don't talk about. Let's just not move on.
Nah, I won the full-time Devils Writers Quiz 2020, and I've never let that go. But you don't hear me bang on
I'm
about
just
it.
not going to react to any of this, because the last time I reacted to anything, it went badly. So
Yeah.
You've not got any tea, have you, about today? No? Just checking. No tea about? Okay, cool. Right, we'll move on. But on Ronaldo, Jamie, apparently Callum says he doesn't need to prove a point, but strikers feed off of confidence usually after scoring goals. There's nothing better for a striker than scoring a hat-trick. So do you think we might see a rejuvenated Cristiano Ronaldo after this? Is he going to be banging them in left, right and centre? Are we going to be Viva Ronaldoing up the wedding aisle when we all get married, and in pubs when we're all having a cheeky two at the weekend? You know, what's the crack now?
Long story short, no, I don't think so. I think I agree with Cal that he didn't need to prove anything necessarily yesterday. You know, the guy's the all-time leading recognised goal scorer, which is a record that I'm pretty sure he breaks every other month or so. I don't know whether Pele's pulling out goals that he scored against his nephew in a park somewhere and adding that to his total, but I'm pretty sure it always turns up and it's just like, oh, he's now the all-time out-and-out goal-scoring, record holder. It's like, he tweeted that like 2 months ago. But I don't think he needed to prove anything. I think it was, and I think Cal bang on, and I mentioned it last night when we were all talking about it in the chat, that everyone talks about football in absolutes. So it's one person has a really good performance one day and it's like, oh, there you go, he's proved you all wrong. It's like, no, he's got it in his locker. We know he's got it in his locker. We've watched him play football for, the top level for 17 years. We know that he can do those things. The problem is that he hasn't been doing those things. He isn't the player that he used to be in terms of his movement, in terms of whether it's his enthusiasm for the game or his energy. But of course, he's got those goals in his locker. Like we've seen it time and time again. I hope it rejuvenates him. I still think, and I've said this before, and it's you'll get me crucified one day, this opinion, but I think our most functional 11 doesn't have Ronaldo in it. But obviously, you've got to put him in the side on paper, haven't you, because of the goals that he's shown that he can get. I hope that it's a sign of unity in the dressing room. I'm sick to death of every week there being a leak coming out. And it seemed that there was a bit of a good buzz around the lads yesterday. Obviously, I know we're going to touch on it later on, like Stu said, but Sancho is a phenomenal football player. His intelligence is second to none. And I don't want to be reactionary here, but I genuinely don't think that there's a talent in world football that I'd swap him for at the minute. I think what he brings to us is so unique. And we've not seen that sort of the way in which he seems to slow the play down in his head, sees things before anyone else on the pitch does. He operates as almost like as an elite 8-10 and a winger all in one. So he can distribute the play. He can pass between the lines. He's obviously quite quick and he can get past the man and beat a man. And he puts a good ball in. So I think he offers a lot to us. I know that there's some people that have been reactionary as well and said that that's how Ronaldo can play without Bruno, interrupting his play, which I think is ridiculous. I think Bruno's been our best player for 2 years. But yeah, I hope we can use it as a springboard to kick on. We need the results. But again, I agree. I think Spurs were quite poor yesterday. The one thing I'm very happy about is if we'd have lost yesterday, it'd have been full of people going, and this is why we should have got Conte. This is, look, and I don't think we should have got Conte at all. But that's a conversation for another time. But it was nice. It was nice for him to get the hat trick at Old Trafford again. While Tom Brady was sat watching, somebody that has actually benefited, probably the only man in the world has benefited from Glazer ownership. And I know he tweeted saying thank you to the Glazer family for having me. So he's no longer the best quarterback in NFL history. So I don't know the rules.
The biggest Glazer sympathiser since Mark LUGH on Twitter, wearing a transparent jacket. So many chats coming through, and I just want to pull this one up here from Jarvis. Thanks for jumping in, Jarvis. Good to see you. I believe we learned how to get a 37-year-old GOAT to perform. Let him rest every other game. I mean, Karthik, a question for you. So remember, this is, do you think the rest did play a part? But also, do you think that maybe the fact United weren't pressing, I'll say relentless, but not at all, for more or less the whole game, did play to Ronaldo's strengths? He wasn't having to do all the other jobs. He was just having to focus on the one thing that is important, being a number 9.
I don't know, because we've seen him in games where he hasn't had to press before as well, and he's not done a lot. I think this time, I think it was a motivation thing more than anyone else. I think he'll. I mean, we're all saying that fans were on his back, media were on his back, and people were doubting him. He would have been on his own back for not scoring goals left, right, and centre for the last few weeks. So I think he's just walked out there and gone, stuff all of that. I'm going to go score some goals today. And then there's a Champions League tie on Tuesday. I'll score a couple in that as well. And then, because he knows that United are on track towards the Champions League place at the minute. We'll talk about the chances later on. But he knows that we're sort of slipping away. And he doesn't want to be associated with a team that fails to achieve a Champions League qualification, because that's Ronaldo. The brand is Champions League football every single year, Mr. Champions League. But if he's not in the Champions League, what's the point in him being around? So I think he's just been angry. He's thought, what, I'm going to go do my thing. And he's done it. With regards to the system and stuff like that, I think he can still work. When Ranić first came in, we were discussing this, whether Ronaldo can play in a pressing team. He can. He just has to occupy a player, and then that cuts off an option, because pressing is limiting options of passing. So that is one way to do that. So I don't think it's anything to do with him not pressing. I think it was just motivation, and he's done it. Also, Stu, an update for you. A defeat has now come my way because we've had to forfeit the points today. So there you go.
Oh, how come?
We didn't play because we didn't have enough players. So I've now lost.
Karthik out.
Oh, well, I did hashtag Karthik out months ago, but nobody was listening.
You've got to question the motivation of the players. If the coach can't get 11 people to turn up and play a game, there's something rotten. There's something rotten.
There is. Yeah. To the core. It's an absolute core, that is. Yeah.
I want to know who's in charge over there, so that we can send them a nasty little email or send some fans around to their house to demand you out. Oh God, let's have a look here.
We just need a banner, don't we?
A banner, yes, or a plane fly over.
Or a plane, yeah, we'll do that.
Could you imagine the source in a plane?
I've got a couple of friends who are private pilots, so
Oh, we'll get that,
sure
that
can be sorted.
Yeah, get that sorted.
Because you know what? If I need a plane, the one person I'd go to is Jamie Andrews. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I need a private jet, Jamie.
I was going to say, no, you're not quite private jets, because otherwise I'd be fucking gallivanting all over the world. We're talking little prop planes, but still.
It's all for United's Tinder swindler. That's who it is, over there.
Exactly. I just need 50k off you, Ben, and I'll organise this plane to fly, wrong one, Karthik out over JFC Poynton's games, and then we'll go to the Kingfisher pub in Poynton and we'll have a drink.
Yes. Is that actually a real place? Because I'm up for that.
Yeah. So it's the poshest Wetherspoons you'll ever see in your life.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. My ex was from Poynton, so.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what mine is called. I think, what is my Wetherspoons called? I'm going to have to Google that, because that's going to play on my mind now. But there we go. That's Ronaldo. I think we're all in agreement, though. If we can get a Ronaldo fully firing between now and the end of the season, it will make top 4 a much nicer picture anyway. So moving on from Ronaldo, let's chat about belief. Benny,
why is that still on the screen?
Oh, sorry. You mean like if I accidentally get a girl pregnant, I'll marry her? Honestly, probably not. I was going to ask. I don't know what that's relevant to. I just completely lost my way.
Him and Brad Knight are having a very strange conversation. I've just been reading it. Very strange.
Yeah. Well, fair play to them. I mean, our conversation's a stranger at times. I really want to ask you, Stu, about what you made of the boxing last night, but I want to move on as well. Good fight, that, wasn't it?
Oh, absolute quality. I knew Wood was tough. I knew Colin was tough.
Yeah. How many years did it take you to find that out, or was it after taking the pills? Which one?
No. Look, I'd seen Colin a few times, but I always thought his over left hook. I wasn't overly impressed with him.
His head, that,
no, I know it didn't. It didn't. I was just. Well, I was going to ask you though, Ben, and I genuinely mean this, right? You know when he got him on the ropes in the 12th, I didn't see that punch coming. I mean, it was literally a like sweet jab to the temple, and it was unbelievable. But look, I thought Colin ran in the 12th, and he should have fought. I just didn't think he got it. He got his tactics right in the 12th, and Lee Wood had nothing to lose.
Do you know what? This is going to be the perfect link now, because I actually think the slip, I'm not sure that was a knockdown in the 11th, actually took his whole belief of where the fight was at that point in the 12th round to go looking for a knockout or to go more on the front foot than he actually needed.
I don't think anybody knew. I don't think anybody knew where it was. And the problem, because it was a slip, but he got a punch in first. He got a scoring punch in first, and that was the issue. I know Wood is tough. Yeah, I know.
You have got the quote of the show so far, and thank goodness AFU out of context is currently out of order. Belief. Benny, sorry, you put in a message to me. I got well distracted then. You put in a message to me about the team looking like they had a bit of fight in them against Spurs. I mean, let's face it, that we conceded twice. We had to go on to win 3-2. Level both times. Spurs came back into it. Have you got a glimmer of hope then that this team are fighting for something now? Because that's what I hated that I didn't see against City. There was no fight. We weren't fighting for anything. So have you got some hope that they'll fight for this top 4 finish?
You've got to always have hope as a fan, I think. Otherwise, you just be down in the doldrums all the time. I do think they've got a bit of belief and a bit of fight in them. I don't know whether it's somebody's maybe the manager says something to them privately behind closed doors to try and get them on one last rally. Now, we had to come out fighting. We had to come out with a bit of belief and a bit of passion for the shirt they're playing for, because we're going into one of the biggest games of our season on Tuesday night against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. And if top 4 we can't secure top 4, the only other way to get Champions League football is to win the competition. And I'm a big believer that we cannot go into a Champions League match on the back of a defeat. A big Champions League second leg match, on the back of a defeat, and everybody's down. The fans are not feeling it. The players are not 100% focused. The players are doubting themselves. So I think it's a good thing that they've come out with a little bit of fight. I like to see a little bit more. I think I still like to see a little bit more aggression at times. A bit more sort of belief and a bit more passion from one or two individuals. I still think there's one or two in there that may be struggling for a little bit of confidence, but overall as a team and as a performance at Spurs to be pegged back twice and then to go on and still win the game, that takes guts and courage. Yes, we wax lyrical about Ronaldo, but it's also those around him that, without those players around him, he can't have done it all on his own. It's not an individual sport; it's a team sport. At the end of the day, we have got problems still. There's still many issues to address, and but on the whole, you have to have that little bit of belief that you could go out and beat anybody that's put in front of you. You play for Manchester United. You should have that sort of ego, that's that belief, that know-how that you're going to go out there, you're going to absolutely mince meat of the opposition, no matter how good they may seem. It doesn't matter if we're playing Accrington Stanley, Real Madrid, Barcelona, or whoever. We should be there going, we're Manchester United. You've got to come out and beat us. And I miss the days of when teams would be, the opposition were beaten in the tunnel. They just take one look and go, whoa, that's United. That we're in for a bit of a tough time here, especially at Old Trafford. Our away form hasn't been too shabby of the previous couple of seasons. it's been our home form we've really struggled, and against teams we shouldn't be really struggling against at home. And I just think that I think Ralph maybe said something to them behind closed doors. Listen, pick yourselves up after that City defeat. We can't dwell on it. Listen, we're going into 2 big matches now, Spurs and Atletico Madrid. I need you to be at the best that you can be. Have a bit of pride in yourselves. Have a bit of passion. You know, you play. You're not playing for Manchester United for no reason. You've been selected, bought, and you've been, brought through the academy, whatever it may be, to play for the first team Manchester United. People sometimes question the quality of some of these players, which, everyone's got a right to, but at the end of the day, even if it's Harry Maguire, Alex Telles, Nemanja Matic, Cristiano Ronaldo, whoever it is, you have the absolute pride of playing for Manchester United, and you've got to believe in yourself, I think, and have that belief. Because once you have that belief and you're playing without fear, and you're playing without having the shackles on, you're playing your best football. You're loving playing football again. And then that translates into the stands. The fans start believing in you. Like we saw yesterday when, off the back of Ronaldo, Patrick, off the back of Fred's great performance, another one that gets very, very much criticised, and, it is getting overanalyzed and torn apart. And, it just goes to show when you're enjoying your game, you're enjoying your football, you believe in yourself, it translates into the stands. Then your fans, the match-going fans, are then believing you. That the atmosphere starts picking you up, and that starts becoming a bit of a high crest wave. You're riding on that wave again. We're not drowning underneath the weight of expectation, And I just think, at the end of the day, without this belief, we're knackered. We're not going to get top 4. You're not going to be in the shout of winning a Champions League or at least getting into the next round. I just think belief and passion has got a whole. I think it's the most important thing in not only football but in sport. If you haven't got that belief or passion in you, you're just going to play within yourself. You're going to be, half the person that you should be. So I'm just glad that they just came out yesterday. Yes, it wasn't. I know Stu said earlier on that it wasn't the greatest game, and yes, Spurs weren't exactly setting the world on fire that they had done against City a couple of weeks previous. But it's just good that we came out with that little bit of passion, that little bit of fight, and that little bit of that kind of United spirit that you get. It doesn't matter if a team goes and it's 2-2 again. We're Man United. We know that we could go up the other end and score again, and hopefully get a winner or if it's an equaliser we're chasing, we'll get an equaliser and we'll picked up a point from there and say, yes, we dropped 2 points, but we picked up a point from a losing position, or we've gone on to win the game, picked up all 3 points. So, yeah, it's just momentum, mate. It's that momentum that keeps you going. You need that positive momentum because as I said, if you're going and having that sort of down the doldrums attitude, we're not going to get anywhere.
Can I pick up on one thing you said there, Benny? Belief in yourself, and I think Stu, I'll come over to you with this. And please, when I say keep it brief, I don't mean in terms of a time-sensitive thing, but I don't want to do a whole player analysis on this. But someone in that whole side who I think is lacking probably the most belief right now is Marcus Rashford. He looks shot in so many different ways, and I can't quite put my finger on what, because like Benny says, we keep talking about the quality of players. And I think we all forget the quality that Marcus Rashford has always shown and naturally has. So for you, Stu, how do we get Marcus Rashford back believing in what he's actually got?
Well, look, only he can do that. And he's got a few ways of achieving that goal. Look, if it was me, if I was Marcus Rashford and I'm having the type of season that he's having, I would be asking myself the question, what do I need to do to improve my play, improve my effectiveness within the squad, not just on the pitch, but actually within the squad as a whole? And I think if it was me, I'd start, and look, anyone can say do some extra training, but you've got to do it specifically. And I think if I was him, I'd look at working with a sprint coach again, trying to find that yard of pace that I seem to have lost. When Marcus Rashford's at his most dangerous, he's very, very quick with his feet, very, very quick across the ground, but he attacks the diagonal brilliantly. There's nobody better, or there wasn't anybody better. And in fact, when Martial and Rashford were both scoring 20, 22 goals that season, they both attacked the diagonal brilliantly, and we've stopped doing that. So really, the only person that can achieve his aims and achieve his goal is Marcus himself. And, you've got to go home and you've got to ask yourself the tough questions. Am I comfortable earning 200 grand a week? Am I comfortable in my 7-bedroom mansion right now? Or do I want to kick on? Because if he's not, he's going to be a Jermaine Pennant type player. Jermaine Pennant was washed with skill, washed with talent. He's going to be a Danny Cadamarteri of the 90s of Everton. He's going to be a Ravel Morrison. He's going to be this type of footballer. And he's got
carry on. Keep listing footballers. I want to see where you go with this.
Well, I was just using those as examples. Because...
No, but I want to hear more. I want to hear more.
He's going to be a Stu Woolley.
Well,
he's going to be a Sean Wright Phillips. He's going to be a.
The problem with Sean Wright Phillips was he actually achieved something.
Oh, here we go. Why did I have to say someone?
Exactly. Whereas Marcus at the moment, he's literally on the edge of a cliff, and he's starting to tumble, and somebody's got to grab him. But the only person that could grab him is himself. Look, I know Raniak's probably spoken with him, tried to find out what his demons are, and he clearly has some demons. But he's got to, whatever's distracting him, and I'm not talking about off the pitch, but something's distracting him. He's got to take a deep breath, and he's got to reset. He's got to hit the reset button, because an on-form Marcus Rashford is ideal. I just want to touch briefly before we move on about Benny's unity thing. Unity is the single most powerful ingredient any football club or team can have. It's the single most powerful ingredient. That's what you need. And you don't have to have 23 world beaters in your squad to have a winning mentality. It's just the people around you who sit next to you in the dressing room, people that you socialise with, people that you talk to. They give you that feeling of unity. And you take that with you onto a football pitch, dynamite.
Dynamite. Talking about dynamite. Hey, Callum.
I thought you were going to go to Karthik.
Hey, darling. Why?
Well, he's dynamite. Well,
I don't know. We've all got our own taste, Stu. And if Karthik's up your street, then I'll leave you two to get on with that. Didn't you two do that first dates episode?
Once you go brown, the other colours let you down, Ben.
Oh, okay. Is that the saying?
Oh, God.
Well, thank you for that, Karthik. You have given me something new in my life. I appreciate it.
Have we been cut off now, or what? Are we off the air now?
I don't know. Karthik's just muted himself because he's got nothing.
It's called flavour. That's what I've provided you. It's called flavour.
What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour. Callum. That's how the song goes. Hey, Callum. So, talking about unity, we talk about dressing room rumours and Ronaldo flying to Portugal and the split and the divide in the camp. So when it comes to Manchester United and the way we're playing, Roy Keane and Gary Neville made a big point of it on Sky Sports the other day. Do you see a team that isn't united out there? And I mean, in all sense of the word.
Yeah. Like, they look like they've barely seen each other in the past year. Like, good. I genuinely don't know what's happened to them, to be honest. Because last season they seemed like they were a group of mates playing football at the park. They looked like they all cared for each other and wanted to be with each other and be mates and play football together. This season, they look like there's little cliques and groups, and they just all look very separate and annoyed with each other. Yesterday was a game where I genuinely thought the team looked like they actually wanted to fight for each other a little bit. Definitely more so than in recent weeks. I still think performance-wise they need to improve, but it was nice to see that they kind of cared. I mean, I said on a video that all I want to see from United is just a bit of fight, because after the second half at Man City and how disgraceful that was, all I wanted to see was just an improvement in terms of just a bit of desire, a bit of care, a bit of, oh my God, I play for Man United and millions of people rely on me. And they didn't do that. So I wasn't much fussed about the performance. I just wanted to show that they seemed like they cared, and they did that, I feel. So hopefully they use that to kick on. But there's no doubt about that this season, or from a certain point in this season, they haven't been united. They haven't been together. We can only speak on that from the outside. But hopefully they can kind of realise the seriousness of the situation, that they might not get Champions League. I personally don't think yesterday means a lot. I don't actually think we'll get top 4. Yeah, it was great to win, but I think that's long gone now, to be honest. I really thought Leicester might have done something for us against Arsenal today, and they look like 11 bags of shit on the field, so I don't really think that'll do much. So,
and you wanted Brendan Rodgers as manager.
Yeah. Yeah, your tweet to me really pissed me off before.
Yeah, do you know what's really funny, though? I wind Temi up all the time just trying to bait him with the Lindelof and Maguire thing, and he never bites, and he always just sends me off. Literally, the way you tweeted me, you might as well just kick me in the bollocks at the exact same time. It was that passive-aggressive.
Yeah, it really annoyed me. The thing is, I know you're trying to bait me, but other people might see that and go, "Oh yeah, well he definitely did," and now look, he's just trying to be Goldbridge, who just goes back on his word every time he tweets. Because I never did say I wanted
you Goldbridge.
Yeah, exactly. So
mate, he's got far much more football knowledge than you do.
Exactly, Carl. Dear me.
Oh, I was baiting him. I was so trying to bait him.
Oh, this is going off the rails here. Bloody hell.
This isn't AFU's last word. This is AFU off the rails. This is like the further version of Uncut.
Yes.
And that's what we just all have fights. That's all we do. It's like an episode of Friends. No, Friends is about love, isn't it? It's about an episode of something else.
Friends is the best series ever.
Oh, come on.
No.
Do you know what? You lot have looked at social media and gone, "Oh, it's cool to not like Friends." You can all fuck off, a lot of you, honestly.
I like Friends. Hang on. Don't tell me to fuck off.
I was going to say, fucking calm down, Mark Rutledge.
I'd rather watch an episode of Bananas in Pajamas.
Friends is okay. Like,
Yeah, but you don't have a choice,
it's
Benny.
all right.
It's not all right.
The reaction.
Not all right.
The reaction.
It was one of the most watched TV series ever. And all of a sudden, Twitter and Facebook came about, and everyone went, "Oh, I don't even laugh at Friends." And now it's really popular and cool to not like Friends. You can do one.
Friends is like Ribena. It's you won't turn it down. If someone's got it on, you'll happily watch it and be like, "Oh, I'm actually quite invested in the characters." But it's not quite Vimto, is it? It's not quite special enough to make you go, "Oh, that's
well, what's the Vimto equivalent then?
Yeah, what's the Vimto equivalent?
Oasis.
The UK office. Stunning TV series.
What's wrong with Ribena?
It's just a shit Vimto, isn't it?
And that's why it costs £1.55, is it?
You telling me that? Do you prefer
half a litre of
Ribena?
Ribena? It costs £1.55.
It's £2.50 in Tesco's.
Yeah, for the undiluted one, but for the little bottles of Ribena in a shop that you can readily drink, they're about £1.55.
Is mixing cordial and water that much of a problem for you? You have to buy pre-mixed stuff.
Well, no.
Benny, guys, quickly. Benny, I will donate £10 to charity right now. Any charity of your choice, if you can recite the whole Bananas in Pajamas theme tune and be ecstatic about it.
Sorry, can we just actually clarify what Bananas in Pajamas is?
Dude,
it's what it says on the tin.
I know exactly what it is. Yeah, don't worry. Go on then, Benny.
I don't even know the song, mate. It's been years since I watched Bananas in Pajamas.
Right, Benny, your assignment for the next week. Every minute extra that you get in the day, YouTube Bananas in Pajamas theme song. You're going to learn it, ad-lib, and then we're starting next week's show with you opening it by singing Bananas in Pajamas. And everyone that's watching this right now is going to come back at 10 o'clock next week just to hear you sing Bananas in Pajamas.
You have yourself a deal, Ben.
Sorry,
I'll have to learn it.
Can I just reply to Fabian? He's giving us a bit of grief here. We're not. We were just saying, and we weren't running anti-Ronaldo. Yeah, we weren't going anti-Ronaldo. What we were saying is he was missing a partner like Martial, somebody who could hold the ball up, and the system that they were playing prior to Sunday's game or Saturday afternoon's game was not right for Ronaldo. That's why he was struggling. We weren't playing Matic. I don't know.
Can I also make one other point on this, by the way? We have like 15 individual Manchester United fans that come on this fan channel in a singular week. Every single one of those fans is going to have a different opinion on a player, on a performance, on a way we play, on an individual. Like, all going to have different performances. Different opinions. It doesn't make, like what Jamie and Callum have hit on, it doesn't make one of those opinions absolute. It doesn't mean it represents the whole of all for United, that's the one opinion we're sticking to it. My question was specifically phrased about Cristiano Ronaldo around the fact that he had some doubters and he's proved people wrong. And that is my point. Fabian, you're in your right mind, if you really wanted to, and you felt that Abdel was saying stuff against Ronaldo, to jump in next Thursday's show and go, Abdel, see, I told you Ronaldo's the greatest player of all time. And Abdel can stand up and go, do you know what? He played really well the other week, and actually give you a solid opinion about. That's what we're all about.
Abdel made a good point about Ronaldo. And the thing is,
yeah, of course,
it's like he said, Ronaldo hasn't been good for a while now. He just hasn't been. And to call it anti-Ronaldo propaganda, calling out a player for being rubbish is not anti-Ronaldo or anti-anybody. It's calling out a player for not being good enough.
Well, Abdel's right. We never said that. And we were just discussing what his performances at the time and how we felt Martial would add a little bit of sparkle to his game. That's all.
Mate, if I could talk about football half as good as how Abdel talks about football, give me the lookalike gig. Honestly, he talks about football like no one else I ever know. He's insane. He is absolutely insane. Anyway, shout out to Abdel. And 100%, like I was saying, there's loads of different fans on here that have different opinions, have different expertise within the game. For instance, Karthik. Well, anyway, so as we were saying, Jamie, anyway, let's steam through this last bit because then we've got 3 more to get. We've got 2 more points to get through, I think. Belief, Jamie. Callum said there that he saw some fights. So what can a result like that do for us moving forward? Ultimately, Spurs, they are a top 4 rival. So does the belief from that game give the players when they're in an opportunity or a similar situation, maybe against an Arsenal, maybe against a Liverpool, to potentially go and put in a little bit more of a fight, especially after what we saw against City?
Yeah, maybe. I think the interesting thing about yesterday is, and again, I'm just trying to be realistic here and trying to play devil's advocate in that I think for some of them, they'll be like, yeah, we clearly have the talent, we clearly have the skill to make our way through these games. But I think yesterday, and I know people have said that Maguire couldn't have done much more wrong, but it's one of those things that, because could have done much more to prevent, the own goal. But it's one of those things, if you're, Jadon Sancho, if you're, Ronaldo obviously bagged that trick yesterday, if you're Fred, who's just put in one of the best performances ever put in a United shirt, and your club captain, who's in probably the poorest form he's been in since he joined us, scores an own goal that pegs us back, you're probably going to be sat there a bit. And whether or not, I don't know whether the cliques are forming because people don't like him being the club captain, but in the back of your mind, you must be sitting in the dressing room going, you didn't help us here, Anthony. You didn't half make it a bit more difficult. And I know obviously people are saying, it was
Dallo, that Jamie. Do you know, I saw your comment last night actually, and I've played, as you know, I played centre half, and I've been called out by fullback not marking. Dallo was 7'5".
You play football?
No, I haven't. Yeah, sorry. The problem was Dallo was 5 to 6 yards away from Reguilon. Reguilon had been doing it all match. So it caught Maguire on the back foot. It also caught Varane on the back foot as well. And I'm not quite sure what Tellez was doing because there was clearly no call to let Maguire and Varane know that. What are you laughing at? I was just saying.
You're not seeing what's on the screen.
Oh, no, yeah, in the 60s. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. And all I was going to say is the actual pace on the cross, because De Gea was never going to come and catch it, never in a million years. Maguire had no choice. He had to try and cut it out. And if he'd left it, if you remember where Varane was, because Varane was just slightly off centre, wasn't he? So there's no way Varane could have gone for a clearance because he would have popped it in his net as well.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but Dallo was the main problem for that.
My thing with it is, if Maguire had been in a fantastic run of form and he, then that happens, everyone just goes, he slipped up a little bit. But it's one of those things when there's somebody that
you're right.
The perception of him is that he's not been helping us, and then for him to score an own goal is a bit. It couldn't have come at a worse time for the lad. So and as much as I can criticise and critique performances, I'll never get on a player's back personally. Do you know what I mean? I'll never sit there and proper hound them for anything. With football, it sometimes goes against you. So for me, I think there probably is a bit there for them to take away. The positives that they can take away is that we were pegged back. The penalty incident was, I think, a bit farcical. I can see both sides of it, I suppose. But my thing is, for consistency, Eric Dyer's arms are probably in a bit of an unnatural position as well, just as much as Tellez's were. The only difference was that Tellez's were at the front of his body, and that seemed.
No,
Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer.
I thought you said Eric Bailly. Sorry, I was like, when the fuck did he play?
Big ball, Eric Bailly. So I think it was one of those things. On another day, we win that game 3-0, and it's a much better performance, on paper. But yeah, I really do hope that it helps us. What have I missed something?
No, you haven't.
No. Sorry, it's my immaturity. I opened my mic to say something and I didn't have the bollocks to say it, and then I closed my mic back off and started laughing at myself at my own joke. Carry on.
Okay, go on. What's the joke?
What's the joke?
It sounded like you said "big balls, Eric Bailly," and I was going to ask if you saw the picture on the internet too.
I thought he said something else, if I'm honest, but I won't say what I thought he said.
Anyway, to get back.
I heard you, Jamie.
Stu, you know we're all adults, Stu and Benny, didn't you? You actually decide, you choose to hang out with us.
Don't lump me in with you here, Ben. I'm trying to talk seriously here.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you're a mature 30-year-old.
I'm not 30 yet. Fucking hell. Give me a bit of grace. So yeah, but my point is I really hope that it's a springboard that we can bounce on. We need to get a good result against Atletico. I think that for me, with the pressures of Arsenal's top 4 runs are in their own hands. Now the only thing is that we know what Arsenal are like, and they love bottling. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because Arteta does seem to be doing a decent job now. They seem to be playing well with each other. Every performance that they put on seems to follow a specific game plan, and they have this drilled philosophy in them. So I'm a bit worried that they're not going to drop many points. What was it? If we win all of our remaining fixtures, they'd need to pick up 27 points or something like that. I think I saw to finish above us, and I think we will drop points. So for me, we need a good strong result against Atletico. Go balls to the wall in the Champions League. That's a great reference there for Brown Knight as well.
Maybe that's what we're doing wrong. Maybe our players just need to play better with each other.
Yeah, to be fair, have you tried doing that with Pointer?
I was going to say
they're underage, mate.
There's something extremely wrong about that comment if taken out of context.
They're underage, mate. So no.
But yeah, so Unity.
Yeah, good points. Good points well made, Jamie. Well done.
You weren't even fucking listening, were you?
No, I didn't. He laughing at his own joke.
I could have just read pages from Mein Kampf, and you would have been like, "Yeah, great points made there, Jamie." Well done.
You know what you're saying about Tellez? You're absolutely right about Tellez. Tellez was 5 yards off him again, wasn't he?
Yeah, I just think it's I reckon the referee's turned around and gone, I didn't give that one as a penalty.
Do you know who needs to try coming off 5 yards off his line, though? David De Gea. That would help.
He came off his line yesterday.
Once he did. Once. I couldn't believe it.
I was gobsmacked. I think the players were as well. I think they all shit themselves a little bit.
I was gobsmacked.
That's amazing.
I won't go and always player of the season. No, he isn't. Matt.
He come fucking out like fucking Fred Flintstone, didn't he? Like that. Off he went. It's amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Fantastic.
Callum, you got to go.
Whipped.
Callum, you got to go.
Soon, I want to watch Peaky Blinders.
He's got to go watch his ass.
That's not what you said.
Or whatever bloody channel it's on.
All right, I tried to blame her, but I want to watch Peaky Blinders, so.
Okay, well, thank you.
I'll be going to.
He's like,
yeah.
I bet he wouldn't have gone.
Exactly. I know. It's probably just Jay Marty texting him saying, "Yeah, I need to."
Hey, did you see him the other day? Did you see how the way Carl looks at him? It's lovely.
Oh no, is it really?
Yeah.
Can we get some screenshots?
Jay Marty is a very nice guy.
Jay
He
says,
is a very nice guy.
Jay says,
It's just because you're both bald, or nearly bald.
My old mate Callie goes, and Jay's going, "All right, Jay." He loves him. Looks nice. He was whinging about the metro, weren't you? You whinging about the is it Salford Metro or some metro?
You got rattled
just
by
the
a tram.
Metrolink. It's fucking shit.
Metro.
You got rattled by a tram.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't get rattled by it. It closed the doors just as I was about to get on it and then drove off.
Because the conductor turned around and went, fuck letting him on.
He was having a right win.
Do you know what's really funny about this, right? So I made a joke about Brendan Rodgers, that Callum said that Brendan Rodgers was going to be the next manager. He took offence to that and got really angry about it. Yet he put that tweet out about the Metrolink, and I replied with, if I was that tram, I'd have shut my doors as well. He didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. Doesn't care.
You know why, right? Because every now and then you tweet me and I just cannot be arsed with you, so I just ignore you. I do reply to you, but I speak at it at my phone. So I reply to you and I just shout at my phone. I just go, shut up, Ben. Like, piss off.
Beep you, Ben. Beep. Listen to you. Like,
well done, Fred.
I love that.
Like,
just
honestly,
quickly,
like you really wind me up sometimes. So I just go, I can't even.
Yeah, I do it on purpose. I do it to like literally. You know I like you when I constantly try and wind you up. Like genuinely. You don't see me trying to wind up still all the time, do you?
I was
quickly,
thinking that just.
on belief. I love you, Stu. On belief. The other end, we spoke about Rashford, and then we're going to quickly go through the top 4 stuff because I know we've got like 2 more things. I said 5 reasons. Next time I'll say 1 reason when we get through the show. Quickly, on belief. The other side of Rashford, Karthik, I thought yesterday was Fred. He was there.
What a man! What a man!
And you always talk about the Red Fred redemption. I mean, he was superb, wasn't he? He was at everyone's toes. He was he was brilliant.
Always rated him.
What can the other players learn from Fred?
Iniesta. He found his passport and he decided to control a game of football. Honestly, no, I've said it for a while now that he's got certain qualities that you can have in a squad. No, he shouldn't be playing every game. Even based on yesterday, I wouldn't be saying, he needs to play every game. But he has a role to play, and he's got certain attributes that certain players in this squad don't. Work rate, tackling ability, and at times he's got good feet. Like last game, he even against City, he had quick feet. That little turn and shot he took, that was a good bit of play. So he's got a little bits of brilliance every now and then. But he needs to be playing in a team where he's got a defensive midfielder behind him because he's not a defensive midfielder. He's a number 8. He's a box-to-box. He's a shuttle man in a midfield 3. Get him in front of a defensive midfielder and you see a better Fred. Simple.
Yep, agreed.
Do you know what I was thinking in my head while you were saying that was footballer kicks a football. That's all I was thinking in my head as you were saying that. he touched the ball and turned and took a shot, is what you just said.
Ben, that's what Karthik says to pointing under 18s. That's why they never win.
We've just won 2 games.
Kick it to him.
Karthik to his goalkeeper. Why didn't you shoot? Taking a goal kick, Matt Boss. I was taking a goal kick. Abdul, he's a B2B that he's a box to box that needs a bit of beside it. Why did I say B2B? Oh, may God bless Pastor Fred. I was thinking business to business. It's like I was in a day job.
B2B, isn't it? Yeah, business to business.
Yeah. Guys, if you watch on Twitter or anywhere else, come over to YouTube, search All for United, hit like, get in the live chat, get in the comments. Right, 1 singular question, yes or no answers, and the first 2 people to get in the private chat can give me a longer answer. The question is, after yesterday's win, do we have more belief that we are going to get top 4? Yes or no, Benny?
Yes.
No.
Stu?
No.
Callum?
No.
Jamie?
No.
Karthik?
No.
Come on, where's the enthusiasm? Oh, dear.
Well, Benny, let's start with you.
There's a reason to that, Benny. I'll get to it later.
I'll come back. All right, then. Let's do Benny versus Karthik then. Perfect. Benny, I'm going to come to you. Why is there more belief after that result that we're going to get top 4?
Mate, without a bit of belief and a bit of this.
he's looking, he's searching. He's searching. He got, I've won already. He's battled. I've won already.
What hope is there in life? You know, you can't go through life without a bit of belief. You know,
he was hoping somebody else would say yes.
You know.
But what did you see, Benny? What did you see on that football pitch yesterday to give you more belief that we're going to get top 4? There you go. There's your question.
Well, I saw a little bit of fight for once. No, I just think, honestly, no, I don't think it's over. It's not over till, what's that saying? It's not over till the fat lady
sings.
You know, I have the belief that we could go on and do this. I still have the belief, and I was saying it to my work colleagues, you know, while I've been at work, I still think we can win the Champions League this year. I'm being deadly 100%.
What a ridiculous claim! Ugh.
No. Hear me out. I've just got a feeling, you know.
That's stupid.
When that Scouse lot from down the road won it in 2005, they finished, what, 5th, 6th in the league that year? They were absolutely shocking.
Ridiculous.
I reckon we could do this. I reckon...
Deluded.
We've got the greatest player in Champions League history, you know. Cristiano.
Absolutely. Talking out of his ass. What on earth?
I just think we could absolutely sit down our way to a final and win one. I really...
Deluded.
And
Get your head out of the sand right now.
I believe that we can still get top 4 as well. I believe that...
Take your half and hang your head in shame.
Leave Benny alone. Leave my old mate alone.
Ridiculous. Win the Champions League. We're shit.
To be fair, I've got a few strong Bono today, so that could be...
Oh, good lads. Well done, Benny. They're fruit ones.
Benny is the only person who has ever been driven to drink after trying to do Lego. That's Benny's case.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, go on, Karthik, right? Then. Go on in, Karthik.
Oh,
go on,
God.
Karthik. Go on, Karthik. Why, after what you saw yesterday, do you have no belief that we're getting top 4?
Because we've probably left it too late. Even if we pick up a load of points now, I just think it's in Arsenal's hands to do it. What I saw yesterday, however, was in a one-off game, we pulled something out of our asses and we won a game of football. Now,
and that's how you win the Champions League.
Shut up, Jamie. I'm trying to get towards that.
Shut up.
But, fucking hell, since I left, everyone wants to win the Champions League. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you invented winning the Champions League.
All of a sudden, now that it's the only... Now that it's the only trophy we can win, everyone thinks we're going to win it. But when I said it, I was being stupid. Look at Karthik saying it every fucking video. Deluded.
It was as stupid of a claim as Callum saying that Brendan Rodgers should get the Manchester United job. And we all know that as a silly claim.
Well, Callum was saying that Friends is actually a top programme.
Well, yeah.
It's like being back a year on this frigging channel. Just get on with it.
What?
He wants to go and watch Peaky Blinders.
Just get on with what we're trying to speak. Speak about. We'll be here all night.
Shit, internet. What the fuck's wrong with you, mate? Fucking hell. Get better internet. Absolute fraud. You're a regular on this channel and you don't have good internet. Fucking hell.
Virgin Media, it's garbage. Do you know what? I rang Virgin Media the other day and said the internet isn't working.
Mate, we're supposed to be getting on with what we're supposed to be talking
about.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not been working for ages. I buy Wi-Fi. They said it only works with wired connection. I was like, well, I'm not getting wireless then.
When you're ruining it.
Callum, this is all for United's last word, sponsored by Virgin Internet. So if you mind, please just be a bit nicer about them. If you need to get 10% off, use the promo code Callum's Internet is shit, and you'll get 10% off.
Well, this video might actually go out at some point in the next 4 weeks if it's bloody on Virgin Media Internet.
I thought he was on about you then.
That's harsh, that is.
Yeah, I thought he was going to fire at me.
He's about to get sacked then.
That's
he's been spending far too much time in a proper studio, and now he's having to go at StreamYard and stuff.
Well, it's his fault for picking the old NTL world lines, eh?
Do you know what?
Honestly, he's used to a studio, and now he's sat on StreamYard thinking we might as well be sitting there, man.
Do you know what's really funny? We would have probably finished talking about what we were talking about if Callum hadn't started having a rant about Virgin Internet.
Exactly.
So there we go. He's the one holding us up. Sorry, carry on, Karthik. What were you saying about Benny's point that he said that we do have belief, that he's got belief that we're going to finish top 4. You saying we haven't, and you were saying stuff about stuff. Go. Yeah,
basically I was saying we've won a one-off game, which probably doesn't mean we're going to develop consistency. It probably just means on any given night, we can pull a performance out of our ass, and that means, we're going to win the Champions League, obviously.
Right, Mr.
Well, as I said before, though, the pressure's still on Arsenal. It's still on those teams that have games in the race to top 4. They can crumble yet. They've still got to win those games in hand.
But they've got momentum. That's the problem. They've got momentum. We don't.
Absolutely, I agree with you there, mate. But he's still got to go out there and win it. And as I said before, the Premier League it's not a given out there,
probably been consistency, hasn't it? Though, really.
I also think Ronaldo's just given up on top 4, and now he's just focusing on Champions League.
Right, so Karthik thinks we have more chance of winning the Champions League than top 4. He definitely just said this. Come and called him a twat. Tweet. Done. Right, perfect. So, moving on.
Brilliant.
Callum will complain about the fact that we tweeted that earlier. I'm waiting for it. He's going to have a go at me. I can see it. Shall I tweet something about Callum now?
What did you tweet?
Nothing. You weren't listening, were you? You're just go and watch Peaky Blinders and come back next week when you're with us. Go and watch.
No, I thought you tweeted something else. No, that's fine.
No, I just tweeted about how much I love you.
Don't be weird.
Oh, Jim, what you said that? Fucking hell.
Jadon Sancho. Callum, how good is Jadon Sancho?
Well, good.
Brilliant. I can see why you're on plenty of channels.
It's an all-rater, Callum.
I answered your question.
Am I a shit host or is Callum a shit guest? Because I'm wondering which one it is.
Let's not get a poll up on Twitter.
Jamie, both.
Yeah, that would be a good poll, actually.
Get a poll up on Twitter.
Put a poll up on Twitter. That would be hilarious, lads.
Who's shit
Sorry,
at Callum
Jamie
or
just
Ben?
said both.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, can we not do
Sorry,
that
Jamie,
again?
I love you.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, no, he's proper got in form, hasn't he? Which is, I don't think any of us were worried about Jadon Sancho though, were we? Like he didn't start off well, but no one was actually that fussed. I think everyone knew he was going to start coming into his own, and now look at him.
This guy who said that Jadon Sancho we should got on Stu,
I did, and I was on record. I am on record. I said that it wasn't our most pressing position, and I hadn't really seen enough of him. It wasn't up.
I just want to answer this. Sorry, I just want to answer this. Stu, this was my first ever video on this channel with Temi and Stu, right? And I think Temi asked us, "Who is your one transfer that you need to make?" I can't remember who exactly you said now, Stu.
I said
Sancho because we needed a right winger because we hadn't had a right winger for 10 years.
Yeah,
and I said
now he's playing left wing.
Now he's bloody playing left wing, but that's by the by, right? And Stu said, "I don't think we need him." And now look, what a tit he looks.
Wow. Let me just clarify that we still needed a fucking CDM, which we talk about every show.
I didn't say you were wrong. Do you actually remember? I just said you were wrong about Sancho.
I do because you tweeted. You actually put in the comments, Ben. Stu, you don't watch something like you don't either watch Dortmund enough or you don't watch enough German football. That's what you put in the comments because you weren't hosting. To be fair, Cal, I stood corrected, didn't I? I said to you 3 months ago. I can see the wisdom.
So yes, you look like a tit.
You what? Sorry.
So yes, you do look like a tit right now.
Well, no, I think what you're saying is it's my superior knowledge of football and how players take time to adapt.
But you were
no, wait a second, Karthik, wait a second. Let's remember that whole summer Stu didn't shut up about Brozovic and he went on to have one of the worst Euros of any player.
Didn't he just? Euros. And to be fair, you reminded me of that, Ben, as well, live on air. Fucking Brozovic is shite. But this year,
didn't you pick Croatia to win?
Yeah, I did
as well because of Brozovic in the midfield. Yeah.
Having said that, though, if you watched the Liverpool match a couple of weeks ago, and he has been playing top drawer this season, he's been very, very good this year.
Yeah, I mean, Man United really need to sign another player that has one good game in 10. 100%. What a signing!
I tell you what, though, the Euros on this channel was something else. Like I love that. I've been there fucking day drinking, like in the sun. That
was in Benny's hosting days.
Such a good period of time.
Benny's hosting days. Yeah, I did say Brozovic, but I stand by Brozovic. But I did apologise to Cal. I did say, look, hands up to knock out. To be fair,
Stu, you weren't wrong. You just didn't think Sancho was great enough for it, but you weren't wrong in the position that you meant. Like you were right about the position.
He's turning is a bright light at the moment, and I know Jamie, you really, really wanted to speak about him tonight. So do you want to wax some lyrical about Jadon Sancho and why you've now got posters of him on your wall?
Do you want to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about first, or?
Oh, that is the first time Callum's laughed tonight.
Sorry, Jamie, lad. I love you, really. Go on, mate.
That was
Ben,
that was
before
cool.
Jamie does speak, I am.
Oh, here we go.
I am going to shoot.
You're going to shoot. Bye, Callum.
Only peaky
Yeah,
bastard.
yeah.
See you later,
Good night,
everybody.
buddy.
I've only got about
Take care,
5
mate.
minutes as well, lads. So.
Yeah, Cal.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you
Cheers,
later,
Cal.
guys.
He's going to rewatch his highlights of being on paddock, innit? And he's going to tactically analyse them all and be like, "Cool, should have said something different here."
He's going to write.
To be fair, I think that from time to time.
Bye.
What, that he should have said something
Well
different?
done, Cal.
Yeah.
Good on, mate.
Is there a fire drill?
Go on, Jamie.
Is there a fire drill?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really need to say much. I think he hasn't really put in a bad performance for us since he started. I think anyone that was watching us and anyone that has a bit of football and knowledge about them could see that he was such a good player. And he's incredibly gifted. He just maybe wasn't getting the statistics to back that up. And I know some people love the stat test, some people love the eye test. I think you should use a bit of both. And now he's getting both. He's putting in the performances across 90 minutes. He's getting the numbers to back him up. He's 21. I think he's just turned 21, and he's only going to get better. He's going to mature, and he's already such an important cog within that setup. I know that's probably not saying much at the minute, given that there's quite a few underperforming players. But getting him for £73 million is a steal. And he's only going to go one way. His ceiling is as high as he wants it to be. I think as long as he has good people around him, good people to coach him and to keep him on track, then I genuinely think he's just going to shoot. And I did mean what I said before. It might be a bit over the top and stuff like that, but I don't think there's a talent in world football I'd swap him for. He plays the ball he plays football so simply, but so sort of elegantly at the same time. So you'll see a 5-yard pass or whatever, but there's just something about the way in which he tracks that, the way in which he makes that pass, and the fact that he seems to know the next move before it even happens. And I think a lot of what we do that is good comes through Sancho. I really hope that he can put an arm around, and I know obviously it should be the way around because Marcus is older, but I think having Jadon around him might do Marcus a bit of good. They seem to be really good friends. They seem to have a good relationship, and I hope that he can support him through whatever he's going through. Because again, with Rashford, I think his issue is he's played under 5 different managers now, 6 different managers, 5. I think he's been mismanaged. He's been miscoached. He's had to do a different role every time somebody else has come in, and he could have either developed into a really good out and out number 9 or a good inside forward or whatever. And I think obviously he's at a crossroads where he's done neither. So I hope that the way that Jadon's playing and his talents are just going to bring out the best in Marcus that we know is going to be there. Sorry, that we know is there. But yeah, I think this season Sancho's bedding in, and if this is him bedding in, then I'm really excited to see what happens when he's fully comfortable in the squad and the numbers that he puts up. Because don't forget there was at one point the only people that had scored 20 goals and made 20 assists across Europe were Lionel Messi and Jadon Sancho, and I'm pretty sure he did those numbers 2 seasons in a row for Dortmund. So that player is there, and obviously the Premier League's a different beast. But if we even get half of that, he's a fucking frightening talent.
And he's someone who can really inspire a good end to the season. He's getting into his own. We knew he'd take time to bed in. Stu, we usually chat whenever we're talking about like us playing football or anything like that. We talk about seeing a pass. And I think one thing that Sancho's always done is he's been able to paint this picture of a game before the ball even, or the next passage of play before the ball even comes to his feet. I think because of the pace of the Premier League, the start of his time at United, he was doing that, but he could also at times have done something different in terms of be more proactive with the ball and spearhead it and take it on. And I think we're seeing the best of both worlds with Sancho now. And the crazy thing with that, Stu, is you can only get better. But quickly from your point of view, and let's keep our points to a couple of minutes now. Yeah, quickly hit on that. How much of a talent is it? We talk about wonder kids being able to score beautiful goals or take players on effortlessly, but to paint a picture like that of what's going to happen next, that is an incredible skill that only a very few have.
Yeah, I thought, look, when he first joined us, I thought he was a very intelligent player anyway. But what he did was he played safe, and you can't have a go at a player for playing safe when you come into a different league. But and Jamie articulates it really, really well, actually. Very rarely can you see a footballer who knows what he's going to do with the ball before it arrives at his feet. And when it does arrive at his feet, he's 10 yards up the road already with it. Now, he's not blessed with what I would call blistering pace, but what he is blessed with is massively quick feet, really quick feet. his close control is something I haven't seen since Rashford a couple of years ago when he was really at the top of his game. Rashford's close control was brilliant, but it takes a certain type of player to be able to have the ability and the belief that he can make a difference in the side. I know that I've played with a couple of players, and in fact, I'm not name dropping here, so I really aren't, but Jude Bellingham's dad, he plays for our vets team. And he's been saying recently that Bellingham himself absolutely couldn't believe what type of player Sancho was when he had that season with him at Dortmund. He couldn't understand a player that was 20 years old when you've got the likes of Marco Reus in the side, when you've got other senior players, Emre Can at the time of the side, that he couldn't believe the maturity that he was showing and how much of a linchpin he was for that Dortmund side. And what we seem to forget is that he can take free kicks, he can deliver a cross, he can beat a player, he can score goals. And I just think that right now where we are, he's starting to believe himself that when he takes that field, he's the one that's going to make the difference and not Ronaldo. And that's how I view it.
Yeah, Karthik, what have you made of Sancho over the last few weeks? He has kicked on, hasn't he? And I think the one thing I did see still, I completely agree with you, is his quick feet and the way he controls the ball as well. It's just unreal.
He's just a level above anything that we have or have had in the last few years. Technically, he's one of the best players in the world. Like, I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. And you talk about his numbers for Dortmund, and they were Messi-like numbers that for a person that wasn't Lionel Messi, if that makes sense. And in terms of even when he wasn't sort of in form for us, I still felt that he was showing things and he was still playing well in games. It just wasn't goals and assists. And
right at the end,
the groove, which he is now, and then once he gets I'm like, once he gets into the groove and once we start playing some actual football next season, he'll start spunking goals and assists. It'll be brilliant.
Yeah,
I love that phrase. What a term. And Benny, quickly, when we talk about young players at United turning into superstars, there's always a sort of edge on your seat feeling, especially in Old Trafford, watching these young lads play. I mean, for you watching Jadon Sancho, are we seeing a star being born right now? Is that the thoughts of many around you at games?
Yeah. And to be fair though, how refreshing is it to see a player that actually likes to run at the opposition, run at his opposite fullback? Because many times I keep seeing, we get the ball out wide, it's coming backwards, it's going sideways, he's not going forwards. But with Jadon Sancho, particularly the last couple of months, everything is positive. It's going forward. He's taking the full back on. He's cutting inside, getting a shot away. He's getting a decent cross into the box, asking the likes of Ronaldo or Langer, whoever it may be, can you put that ball in the back of the net? Can you go and attack that ball that I've just put in there? And it's really, really good to see that he's grown into the English game. Yes, it takes people a little bit of time. But we've said it all before when new signings come, they come from a different league. I think people expected Jadon Sancho to take off straight away because obviously he's ex-City Academy, so, or he should be used to the English game. He plays the England national side, But let's be fair, he's played a number of years in Germany where the pace of the game is not at the level of the Premier League. You're playing at Premier League football is 100 mile an hour at times, and I think it's took him a little bit of time to get up to pace with the how quick the league is, and to sort of get used to not having that much time on the ball like he would have done in Germany. Like they've had ample time on the ball. And that's the one thing that I've noticed with Sancho. Sancho at the start of the season thought he had all the time in the world. Defenders were picking the ball off him quite easy, knocking him off the ball quite easily. He's now got into his head, which is good, that I've not got a lot of time on this ball. I've got to make things count. I've got to go and ask questions of the opposition. I can't do Larry on the ball. And it's very refreshing to see a player almost taking his team by the scruff of the neck. And I know we said earlier about Ronaldo, but in terms of the last month or so, maybe the last couple of months, shall we say, he's really taken this United team by the scruff of the neck, and he's been our most outstanding performer outfield. You know, he just looks
better than
like.
Lindelof.
Well,
Better than Lindelof.
Yeah,
Better than Lindelof.
definitely better than Lindelof.
You hear the fan base.
Yeah, it's just it's just a breath of fresh air really to see that, because we've got Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, so we've got Rashford at the minute that's not quite on form. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and I agree with the points that have been made before. If Rashford could just take a look at Sancho and say Sancho didn't have it, wasn't shit hot at the start of the season, but he's really coming into it. Maybe I should try and maybe replicate what he's doing a little bit. Just take it easy. Just play my natural game, you know, and let's not overthink it, because I think that's what Sancho was doing at the start of the season as well. Maybe overthinking it a little bit too much, but now he's just letting his natural talent just take over. I'm not seeing really somebody like that since Cristiano. When Cristiano first came to United, a player that's willing to take somebody on, that's willing to use a little bit of skill, willing to use a little bit of his footballing brain there to develop an attacking situation, to try and get beyond the fullback. Because many times that we've seen a ball goes out wide and it's going backwards again. It's going backwards. We're headed back to the halfway line, or it's a pass back to the fullback, and then we're building from the back again. At least he's now getting it forward. What I will say though, one thing that I still would like to see Sancho do a little bit more, get to the bar line and whip across it a little bit more. I think sometimes we're looking still to cut inside too many times, whereas it can be quite congested. Can you get around your full back on the outside and whip a ball? Because I think his crossing is a very underrated part of his game.
I tell you what, blimey, when was the last time we saw a right-footed right winger or a left-footed left winger reach the bar line and put a ball in the box?
Giggs and Manny.
Dying out now, isn't it? Really?
And
Giggs and
Angelskis, I think.
Yeah.
Jermaine Pennant. I mean, it was a long time.
What a player he was, Jermaine Pennant.
Yeah, what
Michael Brighton. There you go.
Brighton. I tell you what, he played a delicious delicious little crossing today that really Leicester should have scored from. So 5. Sean Wright finishes. God, what is he doing now? Is he still playing, or is he done? He must be done by now.
He's done. His son's made a debut.
Right, still playing in America, isn't he?
He was out at New York.
His son's made a debut, so I can't imagine Sean Wright is still playing.
Son's at Stoke.
True. Yeah, true. Well, look, 5 reasons why United season could or would change after the win against Spurs. Ronaldo, so many conversations around him at the start of the video. Belief, I spoke about what a win like against Spurs would do. Did you just say poo?
No, I just said
poo.
Well, what's wrong? Is she knocking at your door again?
Shout out whoever Sue is.
Yeah, big up Sue. The top 4 race is still on. Carfick said it. Sancho is turning it on. That could transform the season. But the matter of the fact is, and this is where I'm going to end this, is everything we have mentioned on this show that could be deemed as a positive that United could take away from Spurs literally goes to shit if we don't carry through the momentum of a win like that. United have a long old international break coming up after the Athletic game, and we've got a kick start after that in the best fashion that we can, full of belief, full of fight for the manager, for the fans, for the club. If we don't, it is going to be a horrid end to the season. And blimey, the next manager will be left with literally a sack of shit to sort out. So momentum is so important it's so important after the international break. And that, I believe, we could take positive momentum away from the Spurs game. Obviously, winning midweek will make it even better. But ultimately, in the league, we have to pick up from where we left off against Tottenham. And that is the job for after the international break, which is going to seem like forever for all of us. We're done. The first AFU last word. It was brilliant, or as everyone's calling it, what were people calling it in live chat earlier? Unhinged. Lovely. Thank you, Jarvis, Brown Knight, John, Fred, B-Tech. Yeah. Oh, Stu, Benny, Jamie,
Pleasure.
Karthik, and the guy who couldn't be bothered to turn up on time or stay till the end. Callum, thank you guys for hanging out. We'll hopefully all be back Sunday. Hopefully the guys have had a laugh. Hopefully we'll all be back Sunday. When also we'd have the first Formula One race of the season would have happened.
Yeah, we will.
So hopefully,
Connor, get Connor in. Yes.
He didn't want to come on today. I think we've scarred him a little bit on social media this week, Karthik.
Yeah.
We've been winding him up like this.
I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, well, me neither, but I hope nothing from testing can be taken seriously. Anyway, let's leave it there. Subscribe to All for United. We've had loads of new people get involved recently. We'll see you next Sunday from 10 p.m. if you want to join us on this show. Loads of shows during the week. Plus, on Tuesday, we are doing a watch-along for the Atletico game. So be there, all of you. We'll speak to you in a bit. Take care.
We're going to win the Champions League.
Sorry, say that again.
I said, we're going to win the fucking Champions League, Ben.
Love it. Can you come on Tuesday? Just say that, please. Ain't it your birthday?
It's my birthday the next day, so I'll be out.
All right, then. Happy birthday.
If we win, I'll come
on your phone then.
If we win, I'll do that, and then I'll come on the stream.
That's why we weren't. Well, that's why Karthik left match reactions because he kept saying that and we'd never win. You'll come on my screen. Beautiful. Yeah. Thanks, mate. Right, I'll speak to you guys later. Bye for now.